It's nothing fancy. It's a very simple process, meaning keep the Lord in the center of your lives. Everything you do, you think about what will please Krishna, what will please Lord Sri Ram, and do that to the best of your ability. If we cook for Krishna, we're automatically satisfied, right? A lot of us have deities at home. We take time to dress them. Like I know my kids, they love taking off Krishna's clothes, putting on new clothes. They actually do a pretty good job with that, selecting the jewelry. And for them, it's happiness. For me, it's happiness to put the jewelry on the Lord. Because the focus is what? Focus is on how to please Krishna. What will make him look good? What will he like to eat? So as soon as we keep Krishna in the center, as soon as we keep the Lord in the center of our activities, then naturally we're going to be happy. Just as the citizens of Ayodhya. Whatever they did was what was going to make Lord Ram happy. So Ram was the ideal son as well. Meaning he listened to his parents. So all you kids out there, you listened to their parents. Didn't argue with the parents. You know, it was funny. I was trying to remember, like, was there any stories of Ram being naughty? Right? The only thing I came across was the story where Ram was crying because he wanted the moon. So Kaikai gives him the mirror, and he says, oh, I had the moon. So I Googled it. I was like, there has to be something. I Googled it. I said, naughty Ram. Stories of naughty Ram. Stories of Ram being bad. Child bad, right? Only thing I got was stories of Krishna. So think about that. You have Sri Ram, the ideal son, the ideal human, and then you have Lord Krishna. So all you kids, don't be like Krishna. Be like Ram. But the flip side of that, right? The flip side of that is how did Dasharath act? How did Kaushalya act? How did Kaikai act? How did Sumitra act? They treated their kids with love. They treated their kids with respect. They treated their kids with an understanding that my job is to protect them, my job is to teach them, my job is to educate them. So there was a mutual level of respect. A lot of times, parents, I know myself included, will say, my kids don't listen to me. Oh, they're so bad. Oh, they're in trouble. Oh my goodness, this, that, and the other, right? But on the other side of it, I have to also ask myself, what did I do? Right? Why are they acting bad? Like today, yeah, we got here a little bit late, right? So we're rushing, let's go, they have to go, come on, let's get out of the house, right? Obviously, we're in a stressful mode, gotta get out of the house. So kids are stressed out, we're stressed out. It's no one's fault, it's just, that's what happened. So we have to keep in mind that, there's gonna be situations that we might stress each other out, but we have to do our best to respect our children. Our children have to also respect us. But they're not gonna learn that unless we show it to them first. So as Ram growing up, right, learned all the Vedas, learned all the sciences, learned everything from Vashishta, Muni, and the other gurus, other teachers, he hits around 16. Who comes knocking on the door? Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra comes and he says to Maharaj Dasharath, I want Lord Ram. Dasharath said, yeah, don't worry about it. No, he's too young. What do you need him for? Oh, I have a mission. Okay, I'll send you my entire army. I'll go myself. Everyone will go. You don't need Ram. No, I want Lord or Sri Ram. I want him. So what does that teach us? Single-minded focus, right? You have a goal, you have to achieve it. You work at whatever you need to do to get to that goal. Whether we're students, we're working to get good grades. Adults, we're working to buy a house. Whatever it is that we're doing, trying to improve our employment, trying to get a better job, high profile, whatever it is, focus, right? We need that focus. We cannot have distractions. Same thing applies when we're working for Krishna. Everything we do, there's going to be distractions left and right. Things are going to hinder us. We'll learn a little bit about that, hopefully a little bit later, that lesson. There's going to be so many things that are coming across us, or obstacles that are going to come to us. But we have to have that single focus. In order to have that single focus, you need to have faith. You need to know, why am I doing this? A lot of you are coming to the temple. That's amazing. I love it. I love seeing this, right? Especially last year and previous years, we had this pandemic going on. When we were dying to come, we couldn't come. But why are we coming to the temple? Is it for social hour? Is it for prasadam? Prasadam is really good here. So if you want to come for prasadam, I don't blame you. But, right, people are always coming. But we have to ask ourselves, why are we coming here? A lot of, our Sunday school has over 90 students because the parents are saying, oh, my kids are going to learn something. But what are you learning as well? What are you teaching? What are you instilling in yourselves, in your family, in your spiritual journey? So if you think that, I'm happy with just doing it on a Sunday, that's good. There's nothing wrong with that. Just then that seriousness of bhakti may not sprout immediately. But at the same time, if you're, gung-ho all into it, but acting kind of in a fanatic sense, then you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, and you're not really appreciating the essence of bhakti. So Vishwamitra, again, he was focused on one purpose. He wanted to have Lord Ram. Dasharath said, all right, fine, but you have to take Lakshman with you. So they went into the forest. During their journey to Vishwamitra's home, Vishwamitra taught him all the sciences, military sciences, Vedic science, everything. He taught him that. But at the same time, Lord Ram accepted Vishwamitra as his guru, as his teacher. So he served him, did everything that he could do to please his spiritual master, his teacher. Ultimately, when it came time to do the deeds that he had to do, which was kill the demon Taraka, protect the yagya, so he kills also Taraka's son Subahu and sends the other Marichi away. But he was doing that to please his guru. So again, what do we learn from that? That in the spiritual journey, we need a teacher. It's hard to do it by ourselves. We can do it by ourselves. It's just going to be very, very, very difficult. So it's important to have a teacher to be able to explain this to us, to make sure we're on the straight and narrow and not going all over the place. And we serve that teacher to the best of our abilities. So yeah, most of us are coming to this temple, right? A lot of us are initiated as well. So for us, this is the path we've decided to follow. Even if you're not initiated necessarily, you're still following the principles here. We have shelter under Srila Prabhupada, right? Who's given us the knowledge, who's given us the instructions to follow. And then in due course of time, what inspires us, whenever it inspires us, we'll find a teacher and we'll accept initiation. Just like our Mayuri over here, who accepted initiation about a month ago, right? And role model for all of us, including especially me. But anyway, so the lesson here is that service to Guru, service to our teacher, service to our seniors is super important. It's not just, I'm going to follow my guru and then ignore everyone else. No, we have to serve everyone around us, especially our elders. So after they did whatever they had to do, Vishwamitra takes Ram and Lakshman to Mithila. Who lives in Mithila? Janak Maharaj, right? And who's Janak Maharaj's famous child? Sita Devi, right? And why were they going there? What was going on over there? The Swayamvar, exactly. So this was the time. Ram needs to get married. There's a Swayamvar ceremony for the hand of Sita. What to do? What was so special about this ceremony? The Swayamvar, the contest, was that someone had to lift the bow of Lord Shiva. Why? Sita lifted the bow of Lord Shiva very easily. No one else could lift that bow. Thousands and thousands of people together could not lift that bow. But so Janak Maharaj thought, who's worthy of the hand of Lord Srimati Sita Devi? One who can lift that bow. So many kings came, right? If we do any of those dramas, there's always the funny scenes, right? You have the fat king, the tall king, the strong king. Everyone tries to lift. No one can lift. They fail. Lord Ram comes. Lord Ram pays his respects to his teacher, pays his respects to all the elders, pays his respects to the bow, picks it up, strings it, destroys it. What's the lesson here? First lesson that I took from this. Sri Ram is showing his supremacy. Right? This is the bow of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnava, one of the greatest demigods. Vaishnavanam Yatashambhu, right? Great personality. That Lord Ram, with ease, picks up his bow and destroys it, almost saying that, yes, Lord Shiva is great, we should worship him, but understand what's the mood we're worshiping him in. That of a devotee of the Lord. And using his mercy, begging him, please help us achieve the mercy of Lord Sri Krishna, or Lord Ram in this case. There's also a secondary corollary reason here that hit me. The bow belonged to Lord Shiva. Who is a devotee of Lord Shiva that's in this story? Ravan. So Ravana, devotee of Lord Shiva. Lord Ram defeats the bow of Lord Shiva, ergo, he would defeat Ravana. So again, you might worship demigods, you might have that idea that, Lord Shiva is the greatest, or Lakshmi is the worshipful form, or Ganesh. A lot of people worship Ganesh. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to understand what is the mindset that we worship them in. And that mindset is the Supreme Lord. Whatever we do, we ask Ganesh, remove our obstacles. We ask Lakshmi Devi, give us some wealth, something that we can use to worship Sri Krishna. So now, Ram and Sita get married. All great. Disney movie means it's over. Live a happily ever life after. But guess what? No, it did not happen. Day of coronation, Dashrath decides it's time for him to retire. He wants to accept Vanaprastha, decides to make Lord Ram king. Who stops them? Kaikeyi, right? Kaikeyi says, You promised me, Dashrath, many, many years ago, 2 boons, 2 promises. I want to cash them in right now. Dashrath said, yeah, okay, no problem. Whatever you want, I got it. I got you. No problem. Kaikeyi said, first boon was what?
Send Ram to the forest.
No. Make Bharat the king. Dashrath was like, what? I love Bharat, but Ram is the eldest son. Everyone loves Lord Ram. Why would you make Bharat? No, I want Bharat to be king. I have my reasons. Okay, fine, he can be king. Second boon, send Ram to the forest for 14 years. Dashrath was heartbroken. Why? What happened here? So what influenced Kaikeyi? Kaikeyi loved Ram more than her own son. She loved Ram. Right? She's the one who gave him the mirror. She loved him. So why did she change? Someone who's so close to the Supreme Lord now comes and says, I don't want the Supreme Lord here. Mantra, right. Mantra whispered in Kaikeyi's ear, said, hey, Ram becomes king, you're going to be out on the streets. You should protect yourself. So Kaikeyi gets influence. So what does that mean? Association is super, super, super important. We associate with like-minded people. We want to follow a path of bhakti. We should associate with people who are on the path of bhakti. We want to live in the material world. Go ahead, live with people in the material world. That's fine. But you have to think about it. Line up with your goals. What is your goal in mind, right? What we talked about before, your focus. What is your focus? Line that up. Who are the people that are going to help you achieve that focus? So Mantra dissuaded Kaikeyi, pushed her away. We could be at the greatest level. Hate to say it, in our movement, our history, we've seen it. People who are all the way up here, direct servants of Prabhupada, this, that, and whatever, they all went different paths. Why? Because association wasn't there. We need to have association. We need to have a positive association. And that's why, again, why I see here, why I love this community so much, why my wife and I decided to spend more time here, was because we see that. We see how the association is fostering, the groups are fostering, how everyone is being involved in this. You could be someone who just started on the streets. You could be someone who's given 30 years of their lives. Nilmanipu is gonna find you and is gonna say, hey, can you help me with something? Right? And you can't say, who can say no to him? That's how I got stuck. I got to speak here. I'm just kidding. So Ram hears these requests from Dasharath, and he says, yes, father, I'm going to do that. No questions, no arguing. Again, kids, don't argue with your parents. They ask you something, please say yes. So Ram said, yes, I'm going to do that. Sita heard, she said, no, I'm going with you. Lakshman heard, I'm going to go with you. So they all left. The kingdom found out. They all despised Kaikai, they despised Bharat. They were like, I can't believe this is happening. They tried to chase after Ram. Ram kind of disappeared in the middle of the night, said, I don't want anyone to follow me. Bharat was away in town. He comes back. He hears what happened. He chases after Ram. Right? Dasharath passes away also out of being separated from Ram. Bharat, the kingdom, everyone runs over to where Ram was camped. And they all begged him, please come, please come, please come. Ram said, no, I cannot. Why can't you come? Because I promised my father I would do that. He gave me an instruction, I have to carry that out. Everyone said, no, you don't have to worry. Dasharath was influenced on, Kaikai says she's sorry. No, you don't have to follow that. No, that is my duty. So what does that mean? Lord Ram was a man of his word. Right? He said something, he carried that out. So for all of us, the same thing. We make promises, we make some obligation, we have to do our best to carry that out. We should be truthful to what we are. We should be practicing what we preach. If we can't do that, then we shouldn't make a show of it. We shouldn't act like we're a great person or this or that when we know we cannot do that. Right? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, it's better to do your job imperfectly than someone else's job perfectly. Why? Because you're just being creating a facade. We talk about that a lot in Sunday school, right? Being true to yourself. Don't be fake. Being fake means trying to show off that you're someone that you're really not. That you're having a lot of internal struggles, but you don't know how to express that or show that. So you decide to be someone else. So again, Ram was true to his word. He said, I'm going to follow what I promised my father, so I'm going to do that. Bharat said, okay, fine, but I need your shoes. So Bharat takes Lord Ram's shoes, puts them on the throne and says, this is the actual king of Ayodhya. Lord Ram's shoes. I'm just a servant. In fact, I'm going to do whatever Ram does. Ram lives in the forest, I'm going to live in the forest. Ram is wearing tree bark, I'm wearing tree bark. Ram is eating only roots, I'm going to only eat roots. So he did that. He still managed the kingdom. He did whatever he had to do. But everything he did, he showed to the shoes of Lord Ram. He says, look, Ram, this is what happened. This is how much taxes we collected. This is how much grain we raised. These are the roads we built. Everything was for the pleasure of Ram's shoes. He didn't take any credit. So what does that teach us? We should do our work to the best of our abilities, but we shouldn't be looking for accolades. We shouldn't be looking that, look, I'm doing this, therefore someone should praise me. Someone should give me this credit. Because what happens when you don't get it? Anger, jealousy, greed, wrath, anger, right? All these, the anarthas start coming out. So following the footsteps of Bharat in this case, do our duty, do whatever we have to do, but do it in a sense of wanting to do it, not wanting the results of it. Again, school, work, whatever it is, work to the best of our abilities for that. So the kingdom, everyone goes away. Ram is living in his forest, again, all happy, the birds are chirping, Disney movie again, everything's going on, the songs, whatever it is. Now comes part 2 of this, right? What happens? Shurpanakha comes here. Shurpanakha sees this handsome man, wants to marry him. Ram says, I'm a one-woman man. I don't do anything. Go to Lakshman. Lakshman says, I'm just a servant. I'm not worthy. Shurpanakha gets angry, tries to kill Sita. They stop them. They say, cut off her nose and ears, go away. Shurpanakha runs, goes to brother Ravan. Ravan hears about Sita and decides, I want her. So Ravan concocts this crazy plan, this scheme. Here comes a deer. Marichi takes the form of a golden deer, entices Sita. Sita tells Ram, I want that deer, go capture him. Ram runs away, and all of a sudden you hear, Lakshman, Sita, help me. Lakshman doesn't care. Sita's like, what is that? That's Ram. Lakshman, go help him. Lakshman says, that's not Ram. Come on, you know Ram. Sita says, you better go help him or else I'm going to kill myself. All right, fine, I'm going to go. Runs away, puts the protective circle, runs away, tries to find Ram. In comes Ravan. Ravan dresses up as a Brahmin, stays outside the circle and says, I need help, can you help me? Sita, against her better judgment, leaves the circle. Ravan comes, kidnaps her, runs away. What's the moral here? First moral, if you see a golden deer, don't trust it. No, but what happened? Sita was acting on emotions, right? Impulsively making a decision. Didn't trust her instincts, didn't trust what was the actual situation over here. So a lot of times we act on emotion, we act impulsively, we don't think about what we're doing because at that moment of that situation we need to do it. So for us, have a clear mind, a clear consciousness. When we make decisions, take a second, take 5 seconds, want to think about what's about to happen. Is this decision, is this right, is this wrong, what should I do? Of course, it's harder to say than do, trust me, I know that, right? But this is something that I've been also trying to work on, how to make decisions on the fly without impacting people, without having like a negative impact. Really think about it. So for all of us, whatever we do, think about what are we doing? Is it going to impact us? Yes, in a positive way, negative way? More importantly, again, we're talking about spiritual path always. How is this going to help my spiritual journey? Whatever actions that I do. So now, Ram is, oh no, Sita's gone. Sita is running away. No, save me, save me, save me. And then Ravan meets who? Jatayu. Jatayu comes, says, hey, I know that, you better stop. Ravan and Jatayu fight. Unfortunately, Jatayu passes away, and Ram continues on. Ram meets Jatayu and says, oh no, what is this? I can't believe this. My dear devotee Jatayu died. What's the lesson here? Jatayu believed in something, believed in his message, believed in what his practice was, and did not stop at anything to try to achieve that. So all of us, we're again, going back to that obstacles story, right? We're always going to face obstacles. We're going to face people who are going to criticize what we do. But we have to stay true to ourselves. Really quick, because I remember almost over. So growing up, right, I grew up in the 80s. So Hare Krishnas in the 80s didn't have exactly the best rep, right? It was the airport people, they made fun of us in the movies. It wasn't really that great. Suki knows, right? It wasn't, you see the Hare Krishnas this way, you walk that way, because you didn't want to be associated with like seeing them walking around the streets, because everyone's going to make fun of you. Madness, exactly. So, as a kid, one of the biggest challenges I always had to deal with was food, right? You go to places, they always ask, oh, can you eat this? And then you have the laundry list. No, I cannot eat meat, fish, eggs, garlic, mushrooms, everything, right? And they start looking at you like, oh my God, this is good. Like, it's trouble, it's not worth it. So I felt that embarrassment. So I remember one time, I think it was like 3rd grade, we were going on some class trip. So again, my parents wrote the note, they can't eat all this stuff. The teacher calls the class phone, and they ask me or something, ask for me, and they're like, oh, by the way, can you eat eggs? So I looked at that, I was like, so I said, yeah, I can eat eggs. We go on the trip. I didn't know what had eggs, what didn't have eggs. So therefore, I didn't eat anything. I just essentially ate cucumbers and bread. That was it, the whole time. Because I didn't know what had it, and I was too embarrassed to ask about it. Like, should I, because again, this is the funny kid who can't eat all these things. So I just kept it to myself. And that actually stayed with me until work. So like 20 plus years, I was very embarrassed or shy about saying what I could and could not eat. We went to work. My first job as a consultant, you join the project, you're working, they say, okay, it's time for dinner. We're going to go out for a team dinner. I was like, all right, fine, whatever. Again, I have to talk about no onion, no garlic, let me see how I can figure this out. So we go to a Brazilian steakhouse. So we get to the steakhouse, we're late. First of all, I got there late, and secondly, it was like on a Monday, so it was a dead place. So I sat there at the end of the table, they're like, oh, there's a big salad bar there. So like, all right, fine. Go get some salad, whatever it was, just sat there, ate a little bit, talked, it was okay, great, no problem. 3 months later, I rolled off that project and I went to another project in Atlanta. First place we're all going to is a Brazilian steakhouse. But this time I was like, I'm fine, I'll be fine. I already did it before, I know what's there, I can figure it out, I'll be great. We went on a Wednesday night, packed place, and I happened to sit right in the middle of the table. It was the worst experience I've ever had, where, hopefully all of you are vegetarians or close to it, but literally carcasses walking around left and right. Every single place you go, they're cutting the meat. Every type of meat there was there, you're just sitting there. And I could not even look. I had to look down and leave because I was it was gagging. It was really, really bad. And that's when I realized, the reason I put myself in this position was because I wasn't true to myself. I was afraid, embarrassed to talk about who I was, what do I do, why I can't do these type of things. So after that point, I just started saying, no, I don't eat onions, I don't eat garlic, I don't eat meat, fish, eggs, nothing like that. And then, of course, team outings, there's nothing I could eat, whatever. To change that around, I joined the committee to create all these things. So I always made sure there was food there. In a subtle way, I said, oh yeah, a lot of people, they have indigestion, so onion, garlic, should probably avoid that kind of stuff. Everyone said, okay, no problem. So there you go. So I turned that around to say, all right, instead of finding this problem, just dealing with it, figure out a way to solve that. So same thing, Ram, Jatayu, I guess it's not really the same thing because we died, sorry. But anyway, the point was staying true to yourself, your principles, and not circumventing it, not letting anyone change that, right? So Jatayu dies, Ram's finding around, what do I do? He meets who? Hanuman. Hanuman sees Ram, Ram sees Hanuman, they both look at each other like, I think I know you. No, I think I know you. But they couldn't tell who each other one was. Of course, Hanuman has been praying his whole life to Lord Ram. And Ram knows the knower of everyone, knows who Hanuman is, but they still couldn't understand each other. So what does that tell us, right? External dresses sometimes don't matter. We have to understand who the person is on the inside. Hanuman came as a monkey. We all know how monkeys act, especially who's been to Vrindavan? Yes, monkeys are not the nicest of creatures, right? They're funny guys when you watch it, but when you have to deal with them directly, not so great. So anyway, they see all this, they see each other, they understand finally who each other are, give them an embrace. Hanuman says, I'm here to serve you. Ram says, please, I need to find my wife. So again, external appearances don't always matter. You have to understand who the person is on the inside and see what their true natures are. And especially on the path of bhakti, we're going to find so many different people, so many different traditions, so many different levels that people are at. We should treat everyone with respect. So finally, Hanuman, to gather the kingdom, Sugriva says, okay, do a little thing for me. He did it. Ram did it for him. Now he has the monkey kingdom all in his back. They figure out finally, I have to get to Sri Lanka, because Ravan lives there. So Ram, after convincing Varun Dev in his forceful way, let me build a bridge. They build a bridge with stones. We all know the little story of, sometimes they say it's a spider, it's a chipmunk, but the little animal or the sparrow trying to help with the building the bridge. Hanuman says, move, you're disturbing me. Ram says, hey, he's doing this much, you're doing that much, it doesn't matter. What matters is the heart that you're doing things with. So again, for all of us, what does that mean? We may not be great speakers, we may not play the mridanga very well, we may not sing, we may not cook, who knows what it is, but most important is intention. Quick story. So again, a few weeks ago, we did the leadership sangha, youth sangha, did the Gaur festival, which I will say I was very, very, very happy with that. You guys did an amazing job. My kids loved it. They especially loved the puppet show. And one of the stories in the puppet show was Mahaprabhu traveling South India. He meets that illiterate Brahmin, right? Illiterate Brahmin, everyone's making fun of him. He can't read anything, he's trying. Lord Mahaprabhu asks, what are you doing? He says, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita, but you can't read. I know, but my teacher, Guru, asked me to read it, but why are you happy? Why are you crying? And he says, I'm not really sure what I'm reading, but I can picture Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna. The Supreme Lord is serving his devotee, and that just makes my hair stand on end, that this is God, the Supreme Being. He's acting as a servant. So what does that say, right? It doesn't matter what qualifications we have. What matters is our intention and the heart and how we use those two ingredients. So whatever we do, however little, however big, do it for Krishna's pleasure. Keep his happiness in the center of your hearts. So they build the bridge, they get over there, they send in the emissaries to Ravan. Ravan says, no, I don't think so. It's like Hanuman's tail on fire, all sorts of things that happen, right? Oh, that was before, sorry. Anyway, since Angada says, no, here's your last chance, return Sita. Ravan says, no. Vibhishan has enough. He says, all right, I'm leaving. So Vibhishan comes to Ram and says, I surrender to you. So really quick, again, sometimes in our path of devotion, people are going to cause impediments to us. It could be even our own family, it could be our own friends. We should not let that stop us. We should not be influenced by those people. Before we talked about outsiders, right? Here we're also talking about insiders. Anyone that's in our immediate circle. If they're not with our path, we should really think hard about it. So Vibhishan comes, he gives the strategy, how to fight. They both fight, blah, 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 here it is, I'm killing you, everything's going on. Indrajit comes, he hurts very badly Lakshman. So everyone's like, what should we do? The doctors come and say, hey, there's this medicine in the Himalayas, we need to get it. So who do they send? Hanuman. Hanuman flies there, Hanuman gets to the Himalayas, he has no clue what to get, takes the whole mountain, brings it back, gets the herbs, Lakshman is saved, Lakshman kills Indrajit, great. So what's the quick, the story here? Lord Ram could have done it himself, but instead he has his devotee go. So Krishna loves his devotees, loves to praise his devotees, wants his devotees to shine. Hanuman, perfect example. Arjuna. Krishna could have killed all the Kauravas but immediately by himself. But he had the Pandavas there. And the Mahabharata is about not Krishna, it's about the Pandavas. Glorifying his devotees. And of course, in our history, Srila Prabhupada. He came to the West, he came to preach the message of Krishna all over the world. And so he's famous. Krishna doesn't want to take the credit. He wants to give this credit to all his devotees. So same way, Hanuman gets the credit for all this. So a lot of people are Hanuman bhaktas, right? India has a lot of Hanuman temples because why? Everyone loves Hanuman. So finally the big fight happens between Ram and Ravan. They finally kill each other. Not each other. Ram kills Ravan and meets with Sita. And now they finally can live happily ever after. No, but we don't have to talk about that part. Love Krishna. We don't talk about that. So these lessons that are here are not just for devotees. They're not just for material people. They're not just for regular people on the street. They're for all of us. And we have to use this knowledge, this intelligence that's given to us in our lives. right? In this, this quick speech here I gave, I was talking about material life, spiritual life. A lot of times people think, oh, you can't have one or the other. But the reality is we're all living both lives. But what's important is how do we live that life? What's more important, that material side or the spiritual side? We need the material side to support the spiritual side. We need the spiritual side to get out of bed to do the material side. So it's all about finding that right balance. It's not about running into the forest. It's not about just giving away everything. It's what can I do? How can I please the devotees? How can I please Srila Prabhupada? Again, in our case, how can I please the Supreme Lord? No one is forcing us. That's the most important thing here. All of this is our own choice. We decide what we want to take. But the amount of effort we put into it, the amount of results we get back. Right? Krishna says that, 10th chapter. How much you come to me, I'm going to come to you that much more. But what's required, as Mother Yashoda learned, faith and determination. So I'll just stop here. One thing I'll just read really quick. Vidarasi dikshurana dikpati kamaniyam dashamukamali bali ramaniyam Keshava Rama Sharira Jai Jagadisha Hare. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of Ramchandra, all glories to you. In the battle of Lanka, you destroyed the 10-headed demon Ravan and distributed his heads as a delightful offering to the presiding deities of the 10 directions, headed by Indra. This action was long desired by all of them, who are much harassed by this monster. Shri Ramchandra Bhagavan ki Jai, Guru Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premananda. Thank you.